This week we jump straight into our French adventure, starting at the picturesque seaside resort of Dover. Bonjour! We are currently sitting... We've actually really struck gold here, haven't we?
I'm nervous about saying things like this.
This is fair.
Because we're not actually on the ferry yet.
We hope to be on this earlier ferry. So it is now 7:05 in the evening and we're in Dover, head off to Calais. And they put us on the earlier ferry and we're first in the queue of the earlier ferry. And it seems like it's really quiet.
We could also be last in the queue.
We might be last in the queue.
Because we're on lane 79. So it depends if they board from this side first.
Connor has got a good point. Yeah, we probably are going to be last to board. But that doesn't really matter because we're still going to be about 2 hours earlier than we were supposed to be. And this would have meant driving in the dark in France.
Yeah, we're well happy about this, aren't we?
Yeah.
This is not bad.
This is not bad.
We've got about an hour's drive, haven't we, when we get to France?
We do. We are heading the back way as we head our way down south. Our first port of call will be the Champagne region. And it just so happens to coincide quite nicely with a certain someone's birthday. I'll give you a clue, it's this person here.
Me.
Not her. She's really fun.
We've only just got Winnie back from a couple of days, haven't we? So she's a bit clingy.
Yeah, just a bit clingy, which we do feel mean that the first thing that we're going to have been doing is putting her on the ferry. But once we're over in France, she is going to be a very happy pooch. She'll be doing lots of walkies. Lots of walkies. There we go. Lots of din-dins.
Do you know what, Sam? I think we're about to board.
I think we're about to board. Here we go. It's like a ghost ship, this. There's no one on. It's completely empty. Normally you get on ferries and people are sleeping on the floor. I think we will be sleeping on the floor. There we go. So we have actually found ourselves some seats, but this place is absolutely deserted. They've like sectioned off about 50% of the ship by the looks of it, of the little cafe, which makes sense because there's nobody on board.
Well, this was about as smooth as it could possibly have been.
Yeah, I was just telling the lovely ladies and gentlemen at home how quiet it is on board.
Almost too quiet, though. It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah, we've moved seats because we were getting blinded by the sun.
I'm starting to wonder whether there's a reason why no one's been to France, because it's dead, isn't it? Oh well.
We'll soon find out why. If it's absolutely chucking it down when we get over the channel, then that will make a lot more sense. But no, so far so good. Very tempting with this nice sunshine to have a little bière de pression. Cheers. Cheers. Ah, salut. 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 I have already gotten to practice my French.
Is he French?
They're all French. It's a French ship.
Alright.
And luckily, he didn't just reply in English. I wasn't completely offended.
Are you going to tell the ladies just for what you said?
No. They can leave that to their imagination, because I'm pretty sure I butchered it.
We finished our beers and settled down for the hour-and-a-half journey.
Then it was time to drive on the wrong side of the road, in the dark, as we made our way to the park-up for the night.
So we arrived in France.
We have indeed. It's now, it's a few minutes before midnight, and Connor's powered through, done some good driving, and we are in the little village of Bailleul. Winnie's finally eaten the dinner that we gave her about 4 hours ago.
Before we even left the port, didn't we, get that?
Yeah. So now it's time for bed. We'll see you in the morning. So we're woken up to the sound of lovely bells from the bell tower of the church around here. And it's a bit drizzly here. It's very, very humid over in the night, wasn't it?
Lovely, isn't it?
And we've had a little bit of rain but we are off to do some shopping. So we weren't really allowed to bring much into France in terms of milk and stuff like that.
No dairy, basically, isn't it?
And no meat. So we are off. So we've just stumbled across a self-service butcher's. So you've got loads of different random things squirreled away. And if you want them, you just go to the machine and use it. There's even hamburger. Super random. Off to things we know a little bit better, eh, Con? What we found is the world's smallest Aldi.
A few minutes later.
So the Aldi was absolutely pathetic. We got like 4 items. We came up with a giant salad head, some yogurt, and a baguette, of course. So a very sizable yogurt, but instead we are going to Lidl.
One eternity later.
So we've driven about 2.5 hours further south, and as you can see, it is pure countryside here.
Other than that big. All right.
We've split the journey up because 2.5 hours drive is a bit hectic, especially when we're so knackered. I felt like I've taken the brunt of the shitty little roads. So the reason we're going so far south so quickly is because it's a certain someone's birthday here tomorrow, and we have to be in a certain place for secret things, which will all be revealed very soon.
And Darlene's there.
I think Winnie's got used to being back in the van now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Which is nice.
She's got a little snoot resting on the pillow. Right, now we're going.
So we've just finally finished that drive. How long did it end up being in total?
It has to be about 3 hours.
About 3 hours in total, including stopping for various shoppings.
Be slow, so you have to add on like an extra 10-20%, don't we, every time? The sat-nav tells us.
Yeah. So we have found, just pure fluke, this really, really lovely park up. It says there's only 5 spaces, but everyone's kind of started parking on the grass. So we kind of followed suit, but it looks quite, we're not like impeding anyone. It doesn't look like we're being yobbos. But right next to it is this nice 4.7 kilometre little circular bike ride / walkie sort of thing. So we've taken Winnie's taken us by the looks of it. Where are we going? Winnie. There she is. So she's happy to be out of the van because it's a long old time for her to be sitting there doing absolutely nothing. Really lovely evening. It's cleared up, but it's been getting warmer and warmer. It's about what, 26 degrees? Did we figure out? So we've got a little dinner of some paella and
No wine.
and no wine, sadly. We've just seen a couple enjoying a lovely bottle of white wine, and we're very jealous.
Yeah,
So
a bit sad about that one.
So we're on the sparkling waters instead. Don't worry, there'll be something else sparkling tomorrow, I'm sure.
Nice. So it's my birthday today.
Just in case we hadn't let you know.
Yeah.
And we are at Champagne Bonnevie-Bocart.
Did you remember that, or have we just?
No, I had to read it off the side. Here in the village of Billy-le-Grand, translates as Big Billy. So we're hoping we'll get to bump into Big Billy, but we're here to try some of their champagne.
And we're the only ones here.
And we are
hoping we're going to be private.
Private tasting with Billy. Unfortunately for us, Big Billy actually ended up being the owner's wife, Adriana, who gave us an amazing tour around the factory and let us taste some very, very tasty champagnes. So with me driving, Connor was very lucky and got a double helping,
Which I was very happy about.
although they put the little spittoon thing there as if we were actually going to waste perfectly good champagne by spitting it out. Very, very nice, very educational. And now we're off. Something else fun.
Hello, Jumble.
She's not missed us too much.
She's been sleeping.
So we are in Châlons-en-Champagne, the nearest town to where we are staying tonight. and Connor has a nice little further surprise of a dinner out in a local restaurant with lots of champagne cocktails. So we're just having a little coffee and a beer.
Promised me cocktails, actually.
I hadn't promised him cocktails. Whoops. Well, they have a bar at the restaurant, so I think we'll be starting there.
My God, is it mad?
It's so humid. It's honestly like really, really warm. I'm actually having to shelter using this bush so that you can see us. But we think they're about to start playing a little cute band because there's a stage right behind us. So hopefully we get to hear a little bit of music before we go.
So we're a bit sad. We just got to our next destination and we've realised from this morning, which is about an hour away, we've left our stabilisers, which is a bit sad.
No more perfectly level parking for us.
To be fair, we didn't use them that much, did we, anyway?
We only used them when we were wonky, which we are a bit at the moment, but I think we can be let off with the view that we've got. Voila! And we've got some noisy neighbours.
We had them last night, I think.
Yeah, that's 2 nights in a row we've had some chickens. But this is the village of Lépine, and it is where we will be eating tonight. We're just gonna have a little walk around the village. But all of this, big car park to ourselves, no other motorhomes. It's a bit mind-boggling compared to Ireland, where it was very much, you were lucky if you got a parking space somewhere really, really pretty. Especially in like organised places, and any organised place with services especially, you definitely didn't get for free. Here it is completely the other way around. People actually, we on Park for Night, which is the app we use, people complain if they have to pay for water, and it's like, calm down, like you're lucky you're able to get water without having to like nick it from a petrol station or something like that, which is what we were doing in Ireland. So yeah, we've dodged the rain today, which we're quite surprised because it's got very muggy, very, very cloudy, but it's still boiling hot. And yeah, we're off to have a little wander around the town. So we're all dressed up, ready to go. Off to the restaurant for a little bit of champagne. See?
Oh no. Oui. Do again.
No, your grammatical French errors must remain in the video.
Oui.
It's a really cute little village.
It actually really is, isn't it?
It's nice to be able to stumble back, 3 minutes walk from the restaurant?
If that.
Right, time to get some wine. I'm so glad that's... Did they not give you enough sauce on that?
She left a quarter of a jar.
Yeah, because it's fancy. So no more caramel.
There's a little bit more left. You made me feel self-conscious now.
Looks like someone knew it was your birthday. Can you spill that? You gonna blow it out? We're just gonna stare at it. Wait. Happy birthday.
I was making my wish.
Can you tell us what you wished for?
No.
Because it won't come true otherwise.
Exactly.
So we've just driven another 2 hours further south to another vineyard in a town that I can't pronounce. And we were much later than we expected to be. We messaged the guy. They've said we can stay here for free. We can use their water. They have an electric hookup, which obviously we don't need because we've got the solar. And then we've got a tour booked at 10:30 in the morning, so that's gonna be fun. We're gonna be feeling it a little bit because I think there's about 6 other vineyards in this town. Oh no, what a shame. So we, as we came in, we actually drove past about, what do you reckon, like 3 or 4 big fields of vines. And Winnie's got a new favourite toy, which actually is really apt. She found this on the floor in our last park up, Champagne de l'Ost, and she has been carrying it around like a little toy. there she goes. We feel really bad because this guy waited for us in the compound of his the bottling place, and we were really late compared to what we said that we'd be. But here we are. He was very forgiving, so hopefully he's not going to spit in our wine tasting tomorrow. We'll soon find out. So we've done our shopping, and what clearly is becoming a staple in every single shop that we do, considering we go to shops, every 2 or 3 days, is a baguette. In fact, there's 2. And what we've realised is there's nowhere for us to actually store baguettes in B, because B's cupboards are too small. So the only way to do it is to slide them in here, in the long cupboard, because there is nowhere else. Nowhere else for them to go. So the baguettes got themselves a little home in there.
The next morning we met up with Laurent, who proudly showed us how him and his wife make their champagne at Michel Falmet. He was so proud, in fact, that he took us up to his vineyard so we could see for ourselves how much work is involved in the production of champagne.
The tour continued to the family's original cellar, which is where we'd finally get to try his champagne.
You ready to try some champagne? I am. Cheers.
Guess what we've bought? So we've come out of the tasting with a little bit of it's quite heavy actually. 3 bottles of different wine. Honestly, the hospitality here is just out of this world.
I think he might be one of the nicest men I've ever met.
Really, really, really sweet. So if you get the chance to buy Champagne Michel Falmet, the lovely Laurent, who is, you've got to buy it.
Veuve Clicquot and all the fancy brands that we all know. So they have 80% of the champagne sales, but only 5% of the vineyards in the Champagne region. So what they do, they're very cheeky. They go and buy white label bottles from all the little unknowns, the small champagne houses around the region, and then they just put their little label on it.
All of these smaller companies bottle the champagne and sell it to Veuve Clicquot or Moet or something like that, and then they shove their label on it and it goes out, which is crazy because if you think of the price that these little companies will be getting compared to what's a bottle of Veuve Clicquot is like 40-50 quid at least. It's mad.
So anyway, top tip folks,
go to the small independent places because they A, are a lot cheaper, and B,
a lot nicer.
Yeah.
And they make their own.
So no sooner are we back in B, we're already deciding what we're having for tonight. And I think that's going to be the Tradition. So that's going in the fridge right now. So despite the fact that we've been at a vineyard today and we've got some real authentic stuff, we also fancy some cheap plonk. But when I say we fancy cheap plonk, we didn't really expect 183 for a litre and a half, so 2 bottles of wine for 183. 199. Considering we were paying €9 a bottle in Ireland for a reasonable bottle from Aldi, it's quite surprising.
It does feel a little bit wrong being in France and not buying French wine, though, doesn't it?
It does, but
what about this one?
No, it doesn't look too bad, does it?
No, and it's very expensive actually.
Oh, it's a pricey one at €5.
How dare they?
Let's get it.
Yeah. So, we've been invited to a little party in this town to celebrate Bastille Day, haven't we? We have. So, but we've got absolutely no idea what to expect.
We don't know whether we went out to get cash just because we're assuming that we're going to have to buy alcohol, but we don't even know if they sell booze. Like, it's all very...
It feels very weird buying booze in a town where there's 12
champagne houses. So we're going to go there and ask for a red wine or something like that.
Whose champagne are we going to be buying? Who got selected? There's so many questions.
I really don't think they'll sell champagne. I think they're going to be a bit sick of it, surely. We're going to see.
There'll be Prosecco?
I doubt that. Carver. So yeah, we're going to head there now.
We know there's fireworks at 11.
Yeah. The guy was very, very non-committal about times. He was like 7,
8, maybe 9.
He sort of went, "Whoa."
And it's 8:30. So we're kind of
be late or really late.
Or early.
Or early, yeah. So we'll find out.
Watch this space.
So we've arrived, and they do sell alcohol. They do sell champagne, but they're tiny little,
Got these cute little...
tiny little cups for €2 a pop, or €20 a bottle.
Still? Oh.
And good music as well. So we've now been officially rickrolled by our local village. So we've moved on to beer now, which is very nice. And we've actually realised it's the local firefighters, friends of the firefighters of Rouva-la-Vagne, which is super...
I think they're running the show.
It's very lively here.
And that's the local children.
That's the local children. We genuinely can't believe that there's this many people that live in this village, let alone that have turned up to have a little social, which is really, really cute. And the music is controlled by someone's phone. So we're on the way back from what has just been a really funny evening. It's just so sweet.
We've loved it, haven't we?
We're pretty sure we saw the mayor of the village. We're pretty sure that every little village like this has a mayor, because they've always got a little town hall. But this guy rocks up. He's probably only about 5 foot tall. He rocks up and he was like, "Hey!" to everyone.
He was absolutely blasted, wasn't he?
But then he got a Diet Coke, so I don't think he was drunk, unless he was just trying to...
Or he slipped a bit of vodka.
He might have done. To be fair, I saw someone put in Campari sort of thing into a beer at the bar, so I'm not really sure what's going on. But I think we're just continually blown away by the hospitality and how friendly everyone is in this sort of part of France, and like village life in France in general. It's just really interesting because, I mean, when we were walking here, there was about 6 different cars arriving, and that tent was absolutely packed.
It wasn't it? I found it quite humbling. I thought it was really cute, you know. All the town had come together to celebrate this occasion, and everyone knew each other and they were chatting. They all had their little booths together. It was so cute, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a shame that we don't have that in the UK really, and you know, most people don't really know who their neighbours are, and here it seems like everyone knows everyone. And I know it's different because we're from the suburbs and this is like completely rural France.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't get this in Paris or something.
Yeah.
We were quite nervous. I don't really speak much, any French. Sam speaks some French. And we're in uber remote France, and I was thinking if anyone tries to talk to me in French,
We're going to go,
which technically did happen.
We really did happen, yeah. But we tried. We put ourselves in an uncomfortable position to try and do something new. And it was fun.
And that's all you can do.
That's all we can do. But what we're going to do now is go home, put some trackies on, finish the bottle of wine that we started with dinner, and watch some TV.
And we're going to watch the fireworks at 11.
Oh yeah, the fireworks will come up and we're hoping to try and record that.
Yeah, I think you're going to try and fly the drones, so fingers crossed. If they're good, you might see a video of them in a minute.
If they're not good, you won't see anything. You'll see the next day. So good night. So today we've taken a little trip further south to the fortified city of Langres, which is very pretty, but we've made a mistake. So yesterday was Bastille Day, so it's a national holiday in France, but we didn't realise that, so today isn't a national holiday, but it seems like they've just taken it upon themselves to close every single shop.
Yeah, it's not official, is it?
No.
Everything's closed.
There are like 2 bars open, and Connor's been practising his French.
Das Bier, per favor.
Oh no. Is that a joke? De bière, s'il vous plaît.
No, I know. De bière, s'il vous plaît.
See? Been practising his French. And so I think we might have a few little bevies before we head to our park up for the night.
And I'm sure you can tell by our foreheads it's really warm.
It's baking, it's absolutely boiling. Really interesting little city though, very, very pretty. A really, really pretty cathedral that we saw that I think had started being built in the 12th century. So really, really interesting. And then the actual city itself is surrounded by some fortified walls up on this huge hill.
So by the Romans.
Built by the Romans, yeah. Out of limestone, according to Wikipedia. So we're just educating you all. But not bad for a random, put your finger on the map and hope that there's something interesting there. Albeit the shop's being closed, but frankly, it's too hot to be going into the shops anyway. So we've seen the old funicular, and now Connor's very disappointed to learn that the new one is basically just a lift. Come on, let's get in it. Here we go. All aboard? -2, do you reckon? Whoopa. We've realised this is a completely pointless journey because it's just taking us to a car park.
Well, then we're going to go back up.
So we're going to go back up. Well, that was a bit pointless, but come on, Winnie, how you go? But we experienced it. It's a bit warm.
It never feels so much cooler.
Well, there you go. It's like you feel the benefit of coming out of the boiling hot little greenhouse.
De beer.
De beer. De beer.
S'il vous plaît.
Perfect.
De beer, s'il vous plaît. Merci.
Bonjour, you ordering? Deux bits de pression, s'il vous plaît.
De pression, bien local.
Oui, oui.
Ouais, c'est bien.
Merci.
Grand, petit.
Petit. Il faut conduire.
Une bière.
No. Well, yeah, it's fine. He's saying, why not have a big one? Ouais, pas pourquoi.
Il a dit OK. OK.
Nothing like a little upsell by the guy there. He went, a small beer, no. And he pulled like the really saddest face. I told him it's because we had to drive, but yeah, no. His sadness overruled.
I wanted to have a big one anyway.
We're not 100% sure on that. We know it's slightly more strict than in the UK.
And we don't really know what a large actually is, do we?
Well, a small is only 250 mils, which is tiny. It's like, well, it's kind of like a half pint, isn't it?
And I don't think a large is a pint. Oh, we're about to find out.
We are about to find out. Well, update, we were actually really happy with those beers until we saw the price of them.
Not very happy.
No wonder he was trying to upsell us, the little scamp. Oh well.
Oh well.
Oh, how times change. So, we've just arrived at our park up, which is about a 40-minute drive from Langres, and it's absolutely weeing it down, and we've got thunder and lightning. I'm gonna have to help. What am I doing? I can't multitask as well.
Well, that's a bit more like it.
It's so humid. We got back to the van and it was 31.9 degrees, and it is now 27.6, so it's cooled down a little bit.
It's almost cold.
Well, we're gonna have a cup of tea, but I think that's just an excuse to have biscuits again. I mean, it's just gone 6:30. Yeah, just coming up to 6:30, and it's almost dark. So, yuck. But we're gonna have a nice warm pasta dish for dinner. Warm ourselves up after our tea. So after what was such a lovely park up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
Right by a canal, and it's just been so blisteringly hot. We had a few days little rest there, just because we were a bit knackered.
We were knackered.
Yeah, obviously.
But it's getting hotter.
It's getting hotter. Unair conditioned van. We thought if we open a vent at the back, and open the front windows while we're driving, logic would say that the cool air would come in and the hot air would rise up and go out of the vent. No, the temperature went up a degree by doing that.
But
So
I guess what you don't know is what it would have gone up if you hadn't done it.
this is true. So we've left the nice, calm, relaxing park up that we were at, and we are heading into the historic centre of Dijon. Not spice and mustard. We did actually buy Dijon mayonnaise. Well, I think we did it by mistake, but it's actually quite nice. But it's not really. Oh, that's complicated.
I don't think this is roundabout anymore.
I don't think I would make you right. Ah, no, I know what you need to do. Let's go right.
Let's go right, yeah?
Yeah. Sorry. French roundabout, but the road went through it as well. But yeah, this is first time driving in a French city now, so this is going to be fun. And B is already making lots of noises saying that she's very unhappy about the temperature. But anyway,
So we ought to be fair.
yeah, that's true. But anyway, we are going into the centre of Dijon to look at the sights and have a little wander around and give Winnie a nice little walk. We found a cute little park that hopefully will be nice and shaded, that can give her a little bit of a break from the temperature as well. But my God, it is hot. So we found the owl where you're supposed to touch it with your left hand and make a wish. You've got to go now and get your hand on there.
Have you wished?
I've wished. And the owl's a bit rubbed off. So what explain what this is?
This is a Dijon mustard shop.
So Tardarie.
It looks very, very, it is very fancy actually. So I went in and anyone that knows me knows that I love a little cheeky freebie, a little taster. And I got roped in, but I didn't realise how spicy it was. It's so spicy. So Sam, can I just please have some water?
Is it that spicy?
Yes.
What did you try it with? Some bread or just...
No, you have to put it on a piece of card. So I've just literally put it on a piece of card and eaten it.
You wouldn't have minded if you got a free bit of bread as well, wouldn't you?
No, there's no free bread, it's just on a piece of card.
So you need some water.
Anyway, yeah, can we stop filming? I need some water, please.
So whilst we knew we were coming to a park, I didn't quite realise it was going to be a botanical gardens.
Oh, it's so pretty, isn't it?
So lovely. It's a really nice little surprise. And it's nice and cool in here as well, isn't it? So
It's going to be a little food.
I thought it was going to be a little bit fancier than a field, but not quite as fancy as a botanical garden. Very well kept, very well maintained.
Really nice.
I want to go under that steam machine over there.
I don't think it'll get him. What we just bought, Sam?
So after over a week in France, we've still not had a croissant. Croissant.
Till today.
We've got a few. Our diet before the wedding is not going too well. Lots of beer, lots of wine.
Lots of baguettes.
Lots of baguettes, literally every
All
day.
the baguettes.
We're having a full baguette each day, albeit they're a bit thinner than they are in the UK. But yeah, we are having a baguette a day for lunch. But yeah, so we've got a very nice breakfast for our Friday morning. I'm gonna sit in the sun. It's muy scorchio today as well, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah.
So it got up to 31 degrees yesterday. I think it's gonna be 31 again today.
And it got to 33 in B.
Yeah, the van was a bit hot and it didn't get down to below 20 until this morning. So, and then obviously it's just gone straight back up again. We are parked in the shade, so hopefully that'll help. But we're gonna be our croissants al fresco. So we've got our croissants.
I'm going plain first.
You're going plain first.
Yeah. Do you reckon they've made these in-house?
Definitely, yeah. You can see the kitchen out the back. The almond one is like soaked in something and it's so moist. What's the verdict on the plain one?
Nice. Needs a bit of jam.
We've got Nutella, we haven't got jam.
Do you remember that time you tried to make croissants?
About 10 years ago, I tried to make croissants from scratch. As we've said, I'm a bit of a perfectionist. But I have a certain sort of rage that's reserved only for very complicated recipes and very finicky dinners. And needless to say, I got very, very, very angry at the croissants. I think the butter kept melting, didn't it?
I think you picked probably the most finicky kind of recipe to make, didn't you, from a bacon perspective? Well, from what I'm aware of, anyway.
Yeah, I think so. So it was. Did they turn out all right? I can't remember. Or did we chuck them in the bin? Did I give up?
You put the dough in airing carpet, didn't you, for some reason? I don't think it made it much further than that.
No, I remember rolling it. I remember the butter. So I remember that being a disaster too.
I don't think the butter was warm enough. Anyway.
Needless to say, I'm never making croissants again. But these, not too bad.
No, it's not.
So today we're going to head to Besançon, which is a really cute town, but it's about an hour's drive, isn't it?
If it's an hour's drive on Google Maps, it means an hour and a half in B.
I think it said an hour and 15 on
Definitely
Google Maps, so it's an hour and a half away. But we are slowly heading our way south, but this is pretty much east. We're going to be almost on the border of France and Switzerland, along the Jura Mountains. So, which I'm hoping is just going to be nice and flat. We're not going to go actually near the mountains.
That would be really bad.
Yeah, poor Bee. I don't think with this temperature, she's really ready to go anywhere near any sort of hills. And actually, luckily, so far on this trip, we've pretty much avoided, apart from one that we bailed on and we decided not to go up, we've pretty much avoided hills completely.
It's been a dream, to be honest.
Anyway, we're going to finish our coffees and hit the road. So we are heading into Besançon. We were parked up right at the very top of a hill, 2 kilometres outside of town, somewhere called Fort de Beauregard. It's a disused fortress next to a little bowls ground, which is really cute. Which we did almost park in the actual bowls ground. The path down to town is a little bit more overgrown than we were expecting. It was advertised as if it's really commonly used. I'd say it probably isn't. So today is actually so warm that we've had to make the decision to leave Wynne in the van. Where we're parked is actually quite ideal for it because she's right in the shade, and we have been able to leave some windows cracked open. It's just so warm out here compared to in the van, and it's just not really fair dragging her out in. Well, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. It's just not fair.
We did the classic hand on tarmac check, which we've always been told to check to see how it feels on your hand, and yeah, it's really burning our hand. So she's been left behind, but it's the right decision.
So Winnie doesn't get to explore Besançon. So, kind of just stumbled upon this interview, haven't we? We kind of just saw it on the map and we're like, let's go there and explore it. But it's really unbelievably pretty, actually. Everywhere we look, for example, this room, there's something just a little bit more beautiful about it. So we're pretty happy, aren't we, right now? Very. Another day, another
baguette. Yum yum.
We've definitely had easier walks. I've definitely got the heart pumping. Now for time to see Winnie, see how she's fared. There she is. Hello.
Got a little bit caught up in my watch.
We headed to our park up in Langres and finally had a barbecue. Plus we also had a new wine to try. So, Sommelier Sam has chosen a delicious wine pairing for dinner, and it is a Vin d'Espagne, a lovely white wine from Spain.
Via Lidl,
yeah, via Germany. It says it's a lively and fresh white wine. That's literally all it says. We're excited. We're very excited. So, I'll give it a... Oh God, it's too much to swirl.
What's it like on the nose?
I'm really not getting much, which does not bode well. But either, hang on, what percentage are we on? 11% alcohol, so it's very light. It's completely unoffensive, but it is not a dry. It's certainly not lively. It's pretty plain, but what do you expect for however much we said it was?
€1.80.
€1 something. But cheers. Salut. So it's someone's birthday. Me.
Do that again.
No, it's not.
I hate that. That was so awkward.
So it's somebody's birthday today. Me. You sit further back. Bollocks to you. We're gonna finish our coffees and head onto the road. And hit the road.
And hit the road.
Jack.
I've been dying to lick this spoon.
That's a knife.
It's not.
These bloopers make themselves, don't they?